do that right? I did that right? Okay.
The phone's jingled, so...
Okay. Okay, well, I don't know if anybody's going to join us today or not because it's been so long since we went live, but I'm going to show you what I've been up to. For those of us that crochet, we always have a partial skein of this and a little bit of that. And so what do you do with it? Well, I use a lot of 100% cotton because I think that light might be a little too intense. Could you turn that down just a little? But are you looking so you can tell me?
I haven't found the live stream yet. YouTube is being special on my computer.
Oh, sorry.
I'm trying. I keep hitting refresh and going doing things, but
okay.
My phone thinks you're live, so I'm going to look at my phone.
Anyway, this is a partial skein of 100. Yeah, this is a partial skein of 100% cotton. And so, what am I going to do with it? Well, I do a lot of things with it. I will either make coasters or dishcloths or dusting cloths, or in this case, floor pads for an off-brand of that well-known brand that we all know for these things. And the way I make them is that for this particular one, I have found that if I do about 17.5 inches and then I fold the ends over, I don't know if you can see the pop. Well, gotta get in the camera. There's a pocket, and I make them a little bit bigger because, well, one, they're 100% cotton. Two, when I wash them, that if somebody accidentally changes the setting from cold to hot or even warm, or I try not to use the dryer very much, but if I do use the dryer, let me do it over here. But if I do use the dryer and they accidentally get thrown in there, 100% cotton is going to shrink. So I make them a little larger so that on the off case chance that they shrink, I can, they'll still fit and they'll stretch. So like, here's another one that I've made, and I don't know that you can tell, but they're from about here forward is a different color. Same with this one. I was just that much short with how much orange I had, so I got a little bit of yellow, and then I just did the edges together. And then I have a full yellow pad here, and I mean, they're great. Not only can you dry clean your floor, like dust it all up and stuff, but when I wash my floor, I use these, and I use a solution of my homemade orange vinegar, and I just do that by putting white vinegar in a jar. Well, first I start with a jar full of orange peels, and then I throw them in a jar and pour white vinegar over it, and just make sure that it stays covered. Put a lid on it, and that the vinegar actually keeps covering the orange peels. And I do that for about 3 or 4 weeks. Then I drain it off into another jar, and then I have my orange vinegar. That's only because I use it for cleaning. There are a lot of other places on YouTube that you can find out how to make vinegars for using to eat, or yeah, using your food and stuff. They let them sit longer, like an apple cider vinegar, or whatever, an orange vinegar. I use my orange or citrus vinegars to clean with. Um, I'll clean my bathrooms with them. I'll clean my kitchens with them. When I make my disinfectant wipes now, I use the citrus or the orange vinegar instead of just plain white vinegar. And I do my floors with them. I have a spritz bottle that I will do maybe like a fourth of it with the vinegar. Anywhere from a fourth to a half. Depends on what I'm doing. And you can also use this solution to do your windows and mirrors too. So a fourth to a half of a container of the vinegar solution. That's really dark now.
It was just too much of a bright on the.
Okay. Well, I can maybe adjust a little. How's that? Is that better?
Give me a second.
And sorry, guys, we're playing with the lighting. It's been a long time since we. So, a fourth to a half a container in a spritz bottle of the vinegar, and then water. You fill the rest up with water, and I just spritz and mop away. So, how do we make these? Well, I use the Tunisian stitch with these. And I don't know if you can tell, but this side is a little more bumpy. So if you're dusting, doing a dry wipe through, it collects up dust and dog hair and stuff much better than this side that is the flatter stitch of the Tunisian. And that's just a personal preference. That's up to you. You can do these. Anyway. I would not do a double crochet with them. The most I would do is a half double, or my preference would be either a single crochet or the Tunisian. And I'm not going to have the time to sit here and do a whole one of these, but I'm using an eye hook. And I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to make a slip knot. Just pull it through. I also, when starting my chaining, I'll use just a regular eye hook. And you want your measurements of whatever brand that you're using of the base pad. For me, I do 25 across. I chain 25 across, and then I make it 17.5 inches long. Now, in this particular brand, it has the little, this is not showing up well, but there are little dimples. Well, yeah, pie wedge dimples that if you bought the store brand, you would push the ends in there.
You really like that?
Maybe, yeah. No, that's horrible glare. Okay. So,
Kitty asked if you had a pattern written out for them.
Well, not right now, Kitty. What I do is I chain 25. So 1, 3, 4, 5.
And Suburban asked if they'd work on the steam mop.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Suburban, they will work on a steam mop, but you're going to have to modify them. I made some for Julie because she has a steam mop. And what we had to do was make it not as wide because the jets where the steam would come from were in front, and they were wetting, as wide as they were wetting everything down. So just, it wasn't spraying out or steaming out, it was just hitting the front there. Like, the steam things were here. So what I would suggest is that you don't make it as wide, and instead of doing a full cover like this, figure out where your steam vents are, and then just do
like straps.
Yeah, like straps across. That would be the best way to do it, so that your steam vents aren't
obstructed,
clogged.
Suburban says, I can't crochet, I want to buy some.
Send me a message and we'll talk.
And Steven said, crocheting is evil.
Well, no, it's not. It's fun. But anyway, this is a good way, because as you can see, I didn't have enough to do of either color, so I just joined them together. So, you know I'm blind, and I can't see what I've just done. So now I'm taking my Tunisian hook, and I'm just going to start doing a Tunisian stitch. If you don't know the Tunisian stitch, do a single or a half double crochet and make it just as long.
You need to raise it up a little bit.
Okay, well, guys, we haven't been on in a long time, and there is so much going on here. It's just been crazy. My father, which some of you know, has stage 4 lung cancer that has spread, and it's he's not going to win this one. So we've been kind of busy. And as in any foundation row, it just seems like it's slow. And the Tunisian stitch, I'm a fast crocheter, but even for me, the Tunisian stitch goes slow. And basically, all you have to do is have the measurements of your particular product that you're using. Now, if you're doing Tunisian, we're hooked on here. You come to the first one once, and then you wrap around again and go through 2. And I know this is all backwards, and then wrap around and go through 2. Okay? And you just go across. Excuse me. So, now I'm going to try and turn this around so that you can see. And I doubt that you're going to be able to see because the lighting is horrible. We've changed everything up in this house. And so what you would do is slide your hook. And I'm going to try and do this backwards. Through there. Okay? And then wrap around and pull through. Okay, let's see if I can do it this way.
As soon as it catches up, I'll let you know. Freaky Geek said, I find with Tunisian stitch you have to keep watch of what you're doing, where with regular crochet you can watch telly or talk. Sadly, no chat with any craft.
Pretty much. So there are some great videos out there on Tunisian stitch. I Sorry about that. He got a phone call. So anyway, basically you do that as long. All you need to know is your measurements for this part. And for me, this is an off-brand. It is what used to be the store that wore the blue vest. Now they wear yellow. It's their brand. So that's, know your measurements, slip it on, make it as long as you need to, and go from there. Any questions? And I'm so sorry, guys. Let's see. Same question. Okay, if you have a question for me, please put it in caps, because let's see. Kitty, I see that you said that you've never thought about doing a Tunisian stitch for this. It's a much much more closed stitch, and it seems to pick up a lot more, I think. But Kitty, I don't know how many rows. I just do it until, here's my tape measure, until I get to 17 inches. So I've kind of just learned to look, and I don't count. I'm sorry. I really don't count. And the other thing would be, because the hooks come in different millimeters, so like I'm using an I. If you used an H, you might need to do more rows. But I get tired of having all these, well, here, like all these little things rolled up, which, this way, okay, all these little balls of yarn rolled up, that I just decided to, I don't like buying things that I can make. I don't like throwing away things that I buy. And so I can make these. There it is. I can make these and throw them in a washer. If you're going to throw them in a dryer, you know they're going to shrink. Oh, that's the other thing. These are 100% cotton. My suggestion would be that you wash them out by hand the first or second time, and do it in cold water, and throw vinegar in there, like a cup of vinegar. That'll help set the color. It'll help it from running onto anything else that you might have in the washer in the future. And, personally, I don't care if they fade. They can fade, but this is red. And I don't know if it's showing up as red, but this is red. And I don't want red leaching onto anything else that I might have in the washer. Okay. What is Suburban saying?
I'm assuming these can go in the washer and air dry, and then she answered it as I hit send. Well, that's awesome. Awesome. And Freaky Geek said mind meld moment. So great minds think alike.
And like I said, I always make mine a little bit bigger, just in case somebody accidentally throws them into the dryer without looking.
What are you looking at me for?
So
Anita said she knows single and double crochet, but when you said Tunisian, she was lost.
Well, listen, a single crochet would be great, and if you know how to do a double crochet, a half double crochet is easy. Instead of doing the, let's see, when you go through the second time, just pull it through all the loops and you have a half double crochet.
Kitty said, I love doing Tunisian stitch, just never thought of it for this.
Yeah, I really like this too. And you know, I make coasters all the time, and they're pretty. But I think I'm just going to start making mug rugs out of the Tunisian stitch.
Okay, Anita said, yeah, I know what the half double is, and Suburban's being insulting. Just kidding.
What'd she say?
Anybody with a husband understands.
Exactly.
I resemble that remark.
You do. You do. But you're cute and you cook well. So I'll keep you. But anyway, yeah, this was just a quick little jump on because anybody who crochets or knits all has these little balls of leftover yarn, and what do you do with them? Because they're usually not enough to do anything with. Well, turn them into a mug rug or use one or two or however many you need. They're cleaning your floor. It doesn't matter how pretty they are. That's just my opinion. I mean, if they turn out cute, they turn out cute. But if they don't, they're doing your floors. Who's going to see them? So,
let's see. Are
okay.
you reading or are you?
I'm trying to read.
Kitty said, Anita or anyone who needs help with a stitch, I can help as well. And Anita said she was going to ask, one needs a demo, but she was going to ask later. Ricky gets it, meaning you'll do the work, Kitty? Anita says she's got to get the hook.
Yeah, the hooks aren't hard to find. I've gotten them at Walmart. I've gotten them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's. Just about anybody that sells yarn will have them. If there's a Joann Fabrics around you, I'm sure they have them. If I get time, guys, I just haven't had time to do videos. Last year, everybody was so happy that when 2018 was coming to an end, that 2019 just had to be a wonderful year. And, well, though we've had many blessings through 2019, we're having a lot of heartaches through 2019 too. So it's not quite as good as we would have liked it to be. I hope to start doing videos again and live streams, but I just had a couple of minutes right now and thought that I would jump on and show you what I use to clean my floors, because what I like about these is they can get into spots and they work. And then when it's all done, I just throw it in the washing machine, and I really, really, really despise buying something that I can make and then throwing it away. That just as a friend of my daughter Julie says, Danielle, I love you. I can't like that. I just can't like that.
Kitty said knitting hooks work too if you don't have a Tunisian hook.
Knitting hooks?
Knitting hooks.
Like the what are they called? Crooks?
I don't know.
Because I can't like that either. I could never. By the time I was done trying to learn that, I wanted to throw them across the room like I do knitting needles. But that's me, because I'm not really patient and things have got to move. Okay, look. I see all the glare from my glasses. I'm sorry, guys. So I have no glasses on, so you're going to have to tell me exactly what people are saying, because I can't see it. But the whole idea is, let's stop filling up landfills with things that we buy and throw away daily when we can make, or if somebody would like me to make some for them, just let me know. I'd be happy to do it. And then you can use these for a long time.
Freaky Geek said we see you just fine with or without specs.
Thank you. The glare was just, it was bothering my eyes, so I couldn't imagine that it wouldn't bother yours. The less we can throw in the landfill, the better off we're all going to be. So, again, make it if you can. If you can't, talk to somebody. Hi, I'm somebody. And have them make you a set. I mean, they're great. I love them. You don't mind using them.
I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as the floor gets clean.
Yeah, exactly.
We always say, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I'm not doing without cleaning my floors. That's not going to happen. And I'm really trying to go as chemically free as possible, but I still want my floors disinfected. I still want my bathroom disinfected. So that's why I use my homemade citrus or orange vinegar, whichever I happen to have on hand and make. And then it's a fresh, clean smell, and vinegar is a great disinfectant. Like I said, I'm even using them in my disinfectant wipes that I make, which we have a video for that if you can find it. But just substitute citrus vinegar or orange vinegar for just plain white vinegar. Or if all you have is plain white vinegar, that works too. But I love the fresh scent. I will tell you that I don't have cats. I did, but my poor cat was killed by horrible people with a horrible dog. Enough said about that. But you have to be careful with vinegar because it can inspire cats to wee in places you may not want them to wee. So you have to be careful with vinegar if you have cats. Okay? Anybody? Because honestly, this is a big blur. I can't. I see a little bit of blue and a yellow.
Suburban said I use a citrus vinegar with lime peels. I put it in a spray bottle and spray the floors and steam mop.
Yeah. Well, if I have orange peels, I do it with orange. If I have limes, I usually have lemon, so I do a combination of lemon and lime.
Anita said I only mop and clean with vinegar and lemon. Love it.
Yeah, and I do my mirrors with just plain white vinegar. I haven't tried because I don't know if it'll streak, and I don't want it to. But yeah, just plain white vinegar to clean my mirrors.
Suburban said she doesn't have a problem with her cats doing that. She has friends that do though.
Yeah.
It's an individual.
And you all know, yeah, it's an individual cat thing. You all know Julie. Julie had a problem with that too, so we had to work around that. But anyway, so just think about what you use daily and what you can either make, or if you're going to purchase from somebody who tries to make a little bit of a living from that. And you know, we have an Etsy store. Shameless plug here. It's called 7 Grand Cuties. See if you can find a link for that. I don't have these on there now, but I can. Right now, what do I have? I have dishcloths, pot holders, and market bags on there. I love my market bags. I go to a store that if you don't have a bag, you have to purchase a bag. They look like they don't hold a lot, but I've gotten like 3 boxes of cereal into a market bag. And the amount of produce, especially produce, I like putting in market bags because, well, the gases that the fruit produces just naturally inside one of the store bags sometimes will over ripen fruit from the time you pick it up to the time you get home, depending on how far you live from the store or how many errands you have to run in between going to the store and getting home. With my market bags,
Okay, it won't let me post the link for some reason.
it won't let you post a link?
Let me, for that, it tells me there's an error and I should retry.
Anyway, so, well, can you spell it out and
Yeah, I'll try this, and if it doesn't work, I'll do that.
okay. So, anyway,
There we go.
they're open and they're getting air, and the fruits or vegetables or whatever I might happen to have to purchase at the time aren't getting overripe. Garden's doing really well, except that I had a really bad problem this year with my spaghetti squash. It just grew and grew, and it was beautiful, and it was putting out flowers, and it only produced one spaghetti squash, and then the plant died. And it wasn't just one plant, it was several plants. But everything else is coming in really good.
Okay, Freaky Geek said my mother used to add spices to her vinegar when she used it as a clean, but she never told me what spices.
Huh, let's think about that. What spice would you use?
Well, it depends if you're going for aroma or...
Yeah, for aroma, I would think maybe cinnamon.
Yeah.
But for added disinfectant and antibacterial, I would think maybe oregano.
Yeah, dissolve it in there.
Yeah. That's interesting. I'll have to look that up and see what I can find out about that.
Hush, Daisy. Why would you wash a plant, or did I not hear that? Okay, I'm not following the...
I didn't wash a plant. Did somebody else wash a plant? I had my spaghetti squash all die. Just shrivel up and die, and I don't know why. Everything else is surviving.
Sam Stevens said get the dust off of it. I mean, if it's a house plant or something, then you get all the
Yeah,
dust on it.
yeah.
But Freaky said, why would you wash a plant, or did I not hear that right? I don't know.
No.
Sounded like I heard I washed a squash. No, spaghetti.
Spaghetti squash, not washed the squash. My enunciation, I apologize. My spaghetti squash did not do well. But my butternut and zucchini and yellow squash all did well. I just don't know why it produced, my spaghetti squash produced beautiful plants and lots of flowers, and only one flower. I had a lot of male flowers. I only had one female flower. It produced one spaghetti squash, and then the plants died. They just...
Kitty said my spaghetti squash had tons of flowers, but only so far have only 2 fruits growing.
Kitty, try picking off the flowers, because sometimes when they produce a lot of male flowers, they've matured. The plants have matured too fast. That's not exactly, but the plant's not ready and they're flowering. So sometimes just go ahead and remove those flowers, and it may start producing some female flowers. I mean, you're not going to be out anything. They're not producing anyway.
Freaky Geek said, oh no, I heard spaghetti squash just fine, but it sounded like you said washed it and it died.
No.
And Sam said, Kitty, try self-pollinating.
Yeah, you can do that. But I had a lot of bees, and mine still weren't.
Yeah, we have tons of bees.
Yeah, we do.
Well,
We have a lot of bees. About a quarter mile down the road from us, somebody has honeybees, and so his
yeah,
bees are out there every day.
they're working.
They are working.
Plus, we have bumblebees and
Mason bees,
carpenter bees.
carpenter bees.
Yeah. Katie said, I have 3 plants all close by to each other and now intertwining the vines, but self-pollination hasn't helped either.
The other thing that I did this year that I've done a little bit in the past, but not a lot, is I trellised everything this year. Any vines that grow on the ground, with the exception of my watermelon and cantaloupe, I trellised. Right?
Yep. They either have wood frames or the T-posts and loads of string.
Can you all hear Steve when he's talking?
I didn't.
I don't know.
Hello? Is this thing on?
So again, just because I gotta take off, but I just wanted to remind you, these are things that you can make, or contact someone that you know that makes them.
And Freaky Geek said barely, so I'll speak up.
So let's try not to throw as much in the landfill as possible, and in the long run, you're going to save money, because these are going to last a lot longer than a box of the disposable ones.
Plus, you're using the yarn that you already have that's just sitting there taking up space.
Using the bits and pieces left over of your yarn. I mean, how many rolled up balls of yarn can you throw in a basket before they start growing like tribbles?
Well,
and you have yarn tribbles all over the place. So anyway, guys, it was good to see you all again, and don't give up on us. We will be back eventually. We'll try and do some more live streams. I will try and get some videos out, but I'm going to be traveling a lot here for a while. So anyway, it was good to see everybody again. Love you guys, and
okay, Suburban asked how they would work with scrubby yarn.
it depends on your floors. Do you want to do scrubby on your floors? Because you might not want to use that. I mean, you might in certain instances, but on a regular basis, I wouldn't think you'd want to use that scrubby yarn on your floor constantly.
I guess it depends on how aggressive you are with your scrubbing. You could maybe put a fringe on it and just kind of use one end.
No, she has a steamer, so.
She said she has linoleum. Kitty said scrubby yarn isn't absorbent enough for that, I don't think.
I wouldn't think so either. Plus, I have a skate of scrubby yarn in there. Isn't it like an acrylic or something? And with a steamer, that might melt. Because acrylic yarns will melt.
Cotton scrubby yarn might be okay, Kitty said.
Maybe.
And Freaky Geek said would it be good for grout?
Scrubby yarn for grout? I've never used it on grout.
Let's see. Yeah, Freaky Geek said thanks for the distraction. And Kitty said great to see you and hear Steve. Look forward to more soon. And Suburban said prayers for your day.
Thank you very much. And as always, have a safe and blessed day. And share your knowledge. Love you guys. Talk to you later.